What's going on, fam? Smiles from Miles here. Welcome to Gig Life Driver. Hope to earn your subscription today and maybe give me a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. Help me grow my channel. Every subscription helps. Gets me towards the destination of being monetized and sponsored by YouTube. That's a goal I've been having for a very long time, and I'm very excited to continue down that path. Today I want to share with you on Gig Life Driver something interesting that I found on YouTube. Another content creator is 13 minutes, 13, and he does like videos in 13 minutes or a little over or a little under, and it's all about gig work. So a couple things that he mentioned that I didn't realize, and it makes sense now, that the U.S. government's looking at, or actually Uber's already dealing with it, and Lyft, for Rico charges. That's organized crime, for all of you guys that don't know. Rico charges is not a good thing. They're looking into Doordash as well. Doordash is going to be dealing with a Rico violation coming soon. Uber Eats is already dealing with that. So that's why you're seeing a lot of really wild, dramatic changes on Uber Eats delivery app. And some of it's for the better and some of it's still shady. But I think that's because they got hit with Rico charges. Lyft also got hit with Rico charges. Doordash is about ready to get hit with Rico charges. So, these guys have been, they've been caught stealing tips. They've been caught several times, and they keep settling out of court, and that shows guilt. It's like being pardoned for a crime. You're pardoned for a crime, but it doesn't mean you didn't do the crime. It doesn't mean that it doesn't reflect onto you in your record. It just means that you admitted to the crime and you're getting a pardon for it. You're getting a freebie, a get out of jail free card, if you will. So that's the same deal with these gig apps. They're paying off these lawsuits. Well, that just says that they're guilty of doing these crimes. And what they're doing with DoorDash, especially what they're doing with is the tips, is that, say I order food and I pay all this stuff. Well, they're saying that delivery charges, or majority of the delivery charges and tips are going to go to us, which is fabrication, 100%, a lie. The delivery charges go to them. Well, they're offsetting the $2 base pay by taking it from the tips. They're offsetting their delivery charges by taking it from our tips. So that's how they got caught. And they're, Illinois, I believe it was just settled for 11 plus mil. It's about 12.5 for each driver, 80,000 drivers in Illinois. So that's what's going on in the gig world. I mean, it's very interesting, and it's good. It needs, these guys haven't been being regulated at all. I work with them, and I've never been trusting of them at all. They've lied to me several times. They've taken probably cumulative about $100+ worth of my tips, and I called once, and you'll see it by the end of the day. No. Or when Halloween, when their app developers forgot to put the confirm button in the app, I didn't get paid. They stole my money for a delivery. So it was another, it was only $3.50, but that's $3.50 more than I had. So, from my personal experience and with them since January 2024, they've stolen tips from me. Another thing why Uber is being looked at is because they're allowing their customers to take tips. So customers are being ghosted. Customers are ghosting drivers. And because they're allowed to take tips back, drivers are getting screwed over. That happened to me as well. I decided to do Uber. It was a bit slow on DoorDash, and so I decided to throw on Uber. And I picked up a shop and deliver, and I shopped for this young man. He had a cold, so I got him a big bottle of Gatorade. He wanted a big bottle of Gatorade, big bottle of water, and a couple of painkillers, like cold medicines, like Aleve and Tylenol. And I delivered it. And it was like 10 something. I get, after the time allotment that Uber sets for tips to be processed, he took his money back. So that's why Uber is being looked at. They're also being looked at because of that time allotment that gives the driver or the customer either time to boost up your tip or to take your tip away, according to them. Well, you can boost up your tip and it hits right away on Doordash. I've had it happen numerous times where I go deliver and the people really like me and I end up getting an extra $2 to $5, just depending on it. And I get it. But point being is that these companies are being under a microscope, the federal government, the Federal Trade Commission to be exact. So yeah, so we'll see what happens, gang. You know, the gig work is fun. I enjoy my job. I enjoy doing what I do. It's a bit slow since the election. You know, it's been slow. You know, I mean, people are holding tight to their money because, you know, the majority of the U.S. population, minus 16 million, didn't vote, voted for this guy that wants to increase our cost of living by $4,000 to $6,000 a year per family. So that's a lot of money. So a lot of people are already holding down their money. They're not ordering as much. Thankful that I finally, you know, got a lock on how to do multi-apping, and I've been doing that, you know, just to make my minimum. Fridays I usually would walk away with like $125 for a lunch shift, $95 to $125 for a lunch shift. And this last Friday, I was, it gets me, DoorDash gets me moving, and then it only lasts like an hour and a half, and then it lulls out because there's just not enough orders out there, or offers, I should say, for all of us. So I opened up Uber and was able to balance out my necessity for the money I need to make every day that I go out to deliver. So, you know, it feels like summer slowdown, really, gang. It really does. It feels like summer slowdown. You know, it's not as bad, but it's pretty close. And, you know, cost of living is going to go up. People aren't going to be out ordering as much. It's cheaper to cook at home. But, you know, we're still going to, you know, all the drivers that are out on the street, you know, we're all battling for minimum amount of offers in our marketplace because people just aren't ordering. You know, for the first time, I said this in the last video, for the first time since 2024, January, when I started doing gig work, I saw a DoorDash rep girls out on the street with a table with a big DoorDash sign, and they're giving stuff away and talking to people, trying to drum up business. I've seen Snag, which is a college-run, college delivery service that delivers on campus in my marketplace at the University of Arizona. They've had a booth out there, but they're not really out like in the main street. They're kind of hiding in the background, you know, in a little foyer between Panera and an apartment complex. But yeah, GoPuff, them too. I saw them with a booth out there on the street trying to drum up business because they're slow. It's just weird, you know, it's just really odd. Grubhub is slow too. They're all slow in my marketplace. I know some other marketplaces are still banging, but, you know, we're not a big metropolitan city. We're still like we're a city, but we're like more like a small town city. So, but I've tried other areas in my marketplace, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I live on the border of two different marketplaces. I live on the south, on a border, the south, that way is south, and so that's the south side marketplace, and then that way is the north downtown marketplace, and then farther north is the north side marketplace. I've delivered in both downtown and south side marketplaces, and it's working out. You know, I'm able to make that extra money, but sometimes it's a struggle. You know, it's working hard. The struggle is real with this job right now. And again, I chalk it up to the post-election situation. I chalk it up to that. I think, personally, I believe that because that guy won and he wants to do all this damage to our democracy and our government and to finances, our economy, I think that's why I'm dealing with, in my marketplace, a slowdown, a summer slowdown, but post-election slowdown. You know, I've talked to the other gig workers in my area. I thought maybe I was just getting ghosted because the AI will ghost you to restaurants because they're having a temper tantrum because you didn't want to take a $2 order 10 miles away or whatever the case may be, a low-paying offer. But no, it's not just me. It's pretty much all the gig workers that I can talk with, because we have a lot of immigrants that deliver that don't speak any English at all. They're not here legally. They're here, so they're using other people's accounts. Um, I haven't seen any changes in security measures with DoorDash. I have seen Uber like drop me from my shift and ask me to take a quick photo of myself to make sure it's me. Because it'll ask you, like, is this your account? And you say, yes, please take a selfie. You take a selfie using their app, and you're good. They get you right back online, and you're back working. But I don't see any of that with DoorDash. And, the more and more I'm seeing, it's waves of immigrants that come through my marketplace. I'm a border town, so we get waves of them, and they're different faces. Like, all the people I saw over the spring and are gone for the most part. One I run into now and again. He found himself a lady, so I think he's staying around. And then another one I've befriended, he disappeared. I haven't seen him in a long time either. And that was over summer. And now fall's here. We got a whole new group of migrants that are working DoorDash. And one thing, though, I have noticed that restaurants aren't giving up food to these guys and gals. Not all of them, but I've witnessed a couple times where they're like, can I see your thing? And they look and they're like, and what's your name? And they can't answer it. And they're like, I'm sorry, I can't give this to you. You're going to have to unassign this order. So I have seen that going on. Some of the restaurants, they just don't care, and that's fine. I have no issues with anything of this nature. Like, migrant workers need to make money to whatever, to get their family, whatever, going here or take care of them back where they're from. So I really don't have any problems with that. I don't feel like they're taking my job. I don't feel any of that. I just am, though, experiencing the summer slowdown style of this fall. It's not. Again, maybe you guys can share in your marketplace. I don't get many comments, but that's fine. Maybe you guys want to share and tell me what it's like in your marketplace, because here it's slow. Shopping wise, I don't do a lot of shopping. I do shop and deliver for Uber now and again, and they got a quest going on right now. Do it 3 times, you get an extra $20. I've done one. I'm going out tomorrow, and it's my day off, but I'm going to go out tomorrow and just do Uber. See if I can't pick up that extra $20. That every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping this slowdown shakes off and we keep going, because before the election, I was making good bank. I was making good money. I was, 65 was my minimum for a lunch shift before the election. The most I made, like I said, was like 125. So everything between 65 and 125 for 3 hours of work is awesome. But now it's like 50. I looked at my pay for this past week of 5 days, 15 hours, and it averaged out to about $53, $54 a shift, which is not even $25 an hour like DoorDash claims. And that's another thing they're being looked at for, is they're making untruth claims about potential hourly wages you can make delivering food. And, the $25 is gone. It's been gone since the election. I haven't seen a $25 an hour. My first hour, they'll give me about 20, but then the next 2 hours, it slows down and it just kills my hourly wage. So it's not like I'm not making $60 for 3 hours, I'm making $54. So it's killing my hourly wage by, I should say, not what I'm used to hourly wage. It's killing the hourly wage of $20, for a 3-hour shift. So it's not 60. You're walking away with $4 short, or $7 short. So it's slow. It's a lot slower than I anticipated. Yeah, it's crazy. Don't let it mentally break you down, gang. This job can be taxing on the mind, and it can happen to everybody, and anybody. If you're driving a car, you're dealing with a phone, you're dealing with the app, you're dealing with directions, you're dealing with traffic, you're dealing with, everything like that at the same time. That's a lot of stress on the mind. You're dealing with money wise. You're hoping or praying to make good money for your shift. You're stressed out about that. So don't let it get to you too badly, gang. It's rough. And if you're delivering on two wheels, you're dealing with more too, more than just a regular driver. Because now you add the weather, the elements, either it's too hot, too cold, or, spring, thank goodness, or warm fall, thank goodness. You're dealing with that. So, and then on top, you're also dealing with the app. You're on two wheels. You're dealing with traffic. And people don't like two-wheel riders for the most part. So, and then you're on a scooter like me, or a bicycle or moped. People just are irritated. So you're dealing with a lot, dealing with traffic, dealing with the weather, dealing with the app, dealing with the directions. You're looking for new offers coming through the door while you're traveling. You got to look in your rearview mirror to make sure you can pull over quickly to approve an offer or decline an offer. It's taxing. It's very taxing. I've gotten used to it, but when I first started doing this in January, I was just like, what the fuck? Like mentally just exhausted, mentally just shot. And then, it's a physical job. You're getting out of your car, going in, running into the restaurant, coming back, driving, delivering, climbing stairs, downstairs. You're on a scooter, you're doing the same. Moped, bike, you're doing the same animal. I'm liking that part because I get my steps in, and I'm 60 and I look good for my age. I stay young doing this job. But it's like I said, it's very taxing job mentally and physically. And then you're risking yourself on the line as well, especially if you're a night driver. I don't deliver at night. My roads here are just too garbage, too dangerous to be riding and delivering food on a scooter. On a bike, it's a different story, but I just don't feel like riding as far as I have to ride like 10-15 minutes away to get to the area where I like to deliver. And it's just to work nights not worth it to be on two wheels. It's just too dangerous in my city. I've heard, and then when you're delivering in the summer, it's 100+ degrees, and you guys have seen me in videos. I come home in red. I'm eating popsicles to cool my core down because I'm just overheated, even though I drink water and have a scarf that has little absorbent material inside. It keeps the veins right here, my arteries, the blood cool, and so I'm able to push through my shift. But yeah, it's rough. So like I said, gang, make sure you take time for yourself. Don't worry about what you're missing out on. It'll still be there tomorrow. Just keep pushing forward. It'll get better. I'm hoping it'll get better. I don't believe this new administration is going to make it better, but I'm hoping that things get balanced out to where people will come back and start ordering food again, and we'll have a lucrative hustle again, a gig job. But right now it's just meager. It's just barely getting through it. You know what I mean? But people will say, well, you're just spoiled because you're making that kind of money an hour. No, I don't live out without my means. I need to make a certain amount every month to pay for everything I have. I don't make extra for fun. I don't have that kind of money to be spent, and I don't overlive what I have coming through the door. So I live very meagerly. Once in a while, I have a little extra, and I'll go buy a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. That's my fun. I don't go out and do stuff. I don't go out to eat. I don't use Doordash. I cook at home, and I hang out with my 2 cats. I do enjoy RC cars. If you guys are into RC cars, you can go check out my other channel, Smiles for Miles RC Time. But that's about it, gang. I don't even buy RC cars anymore. I have a collection that I like and I enjoy, and I play around with them. You're never too old to play with toys. You just aren't. And if somebody tells you different, then look at them, and they'll tell you that you look kind of old and haggard for your age, and with a person like me, you look at me and you're like, you don't even look your age. And I'm like, well, it's because I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my life. So enjoy your life. Remember, get out there and do that hustle. Peace be to journey brothers and sisters. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy holidays.